My name is Diane Luce. I'm the chair of the ADA Accessibility Committee for HART. This meeting is now called to order. Welcome to the October 16th, 2025 HART ADA Accessibility Committee meeting. The meeting format is hybrid. We do not currently have a physical quorum here at HART. Administration Office 1201 East 7th Avenue, Florida Conference Room. But we do have some committee members participating online via communication media technology. As a reminder, please raise your hand to be recognized throughout the meeting, and prior to speaking, please state your name if you have not already been recognized by name. Speak clearly into the microphone and slowly enough to be understood by everyone present. Okay. Pledge of Allegiance. An image of the flag is displayed. Please stand if you are able and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So the first action will be for the committee to introduce themselves for both the committee and the community. Please state your name and mention if you're representing an organization or attending on anyone's behalf. I will start, and then we'll go to the anyone participating online, and then we'll go around the room. So I've already introduced myself. I'm Diane Luce. I'm an orientation and mobility specialist with Lighthouse for the Blind and Low Vision here in Tampa. And then let's go to the committee members online. Maybe begin with Raquel.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Raquel Pancho. I am the Americans with Disabilities Act Coordinator for the City of Tampa. I apologize for not being there in person. I've been having some back issues. It's kind of limiting me. So I apologize. Thank you.
No apologies. We hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Yes. Rosa?
Good afternoon, everyone. Rosa Velasquez, Hillsborough County, Sunshine Line.
Okay, wonderful. And then we also have a couple of, I believe, HART staff participating online. Danielle Jackson, I see. Okay. And then let's go to my left. Oh, Janet. I'm sorry, Janet. I missed your square on my screen.
It's okay.
Sorry, Janet. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Janet Beyer, ADA HART board member.
Fantastic. Thank you, Janet.
Good afternoon, Rashawn Tuklo, representing McDonald Training Center on behalf of Karen Levy.
I'm Marion Guizdala with the National Federation of the Blind.
Excellent. And Lynn?
I'm Lynn Hunt. I am a board member and a HART writer.
Okay, very good. Do you want to continue around and introduce? Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Brenda Bailey, internal counsel.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Danielle Jackson. I'm the board administrator.
Good afternoon. I'm James Secor, Director of Paratransit for HART.
Sean McCarthy, Chief Operating Officer, HART.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Oh, just in time. Come on up. Ms. Williams is joining us. Very nice to see you. Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Melanie Williams.
Okay, very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Your presence gives us a physical quorum, which is great. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Public comment. Oh, yes.
Before
Mr. Guizdala.
Before we begin, I wanted to see if we could change one of the instructions at the beginning at this meeting.
Okay.
In that you asked that if you seek the floor to raise your hand. And for those of us who can't see hands raised, one of the more, I think, inclusive ways to do that is for someone to say their name, whether first name or last name, whichever the protocol you want, but it helps those of us who can't see know who's seeking the floor.
Okay, agreed.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm familiar with that practice, so we'll make sure to do that. I'll get that changed for the future, and we'll we'll do that.
Can
So
we begin that this meeting?
we're gonna
and
begin right now.
practice? Okay.
Yes. So, so this is Diane, and again, to clarify, what Marion is requesting is that if you want to speak, just, state your name, okay? You can raise your hand if you want to, but state your name at the same time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so public comment section. So the next agenda item is public comment. HART Legal Counsel, Ms. Brenda Bailey, you're recognized for a comment, a statement.
Thank you. As a reminder, we ask, this section of this meeting is dedicated for the public to provide comments. We ask that the committee members hold all discussions on public comments until the roundtable discussion or new or old business of the agenda. Each speaker has 3 minutes to speak, which will be monitored by the staff. Staff, we ask that you proceed with facilitating public comment at this time.
Okay? Okay, all right. So first public comment request we have is from Adrienne Kerman? Okay, come on up, Ms. Kerman.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My name is
Hi.
Adrienne Kerman. I am a member, I'm actually vice president of the National Federation of the Blind here in Tampa, Florida. I'm also a lifelong resident. I began using HART many years ago as a youth who could not drive at the time, and then later morphed into, before having a vehicle, using HART also to get around. Now, 12 years in as a visually impaired person, I rely heavily on HART and all of its components. I am very much opposed to this potential bill coming up. It would endanger the whole of Tampa Bay. It would hamper how I live my life and how I do everything that I need to do for my family. I'm not sure if this gentleman really realizes, or I'm sure he does not live here in Tampa proper, but there's Tampa and there's the whole of Hillsborough County. I was out yesterday evening, 2 meetings. The first, of course, was BOCC. Second, I had a meeting yesterday evening. I was on HART Plus. There are also children on there who I'm sure went to Pepin Academy on Hillsborough Avenue. Those youngsters had to go home. They lived in Waimama. This is one of the very things. You're going to hamper children's education. You're going to hamper elderly who can't get around except for these services. You're going to hamper those who utilize HART Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for dialysis. There is no way in the world that, again, this gentleman can think that getting rid of HART and its services will be a good thing. So I won't take too much time. Just again, I am very much opposed. This will endanger all of Tampa Bay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kerman. Okay. Our next comment is from Mr. Tristan Hunt.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I wanted to bring up a topic that HART Plus actually started a couple of years ago. And as you know, Uber and Lyft, they are doing a notification once you receive a trip. You receive several notifications when your ride is approaching.
Can you slow down just a little?
Oh, sorry. So as I was saying, Uber and Lyft, they have the notifications that come up as when you are approaching, your ride is coming. And I think some years ago, HART Plus actually had that started. And I was wondering if they could put that back into play. There are times when you're waiting for your trip and you don't know I guess you're supposed to call the HART right at the point when your ride has not approached. But because of the long waiting list of people that are ahead of you, you have more time to wait, so you don't know if the ride is coming or if it's going to be late. Or so I'm wondering if they could put that back in as a notification for us clients to let us know our trip is on the way, if they're going to be late or something, and to that effect. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Okay. And before we go to the next public comment, I just want to welcome Ms. Clark. Ms. Clark, will you introduce yourself? I know you're here as part of the board, part of the committee.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jada Clark. I'm a Hillsborough County Community Liaison, and I'm the backup to Carmen LeBou, the ADA Coordinator.
Okay, thank you. Okay, our next public comment will come from Cheryl O'Brien, but I'm also going to give Mr. Guizdala a chance to preface Ms. O'Brien's comment.
As Cheryl's
per his
coming up,
request.
Cheryl's going to be reading a resolution. The resolution was passed by the National Federation of the Blind of Florida, which is the supreme body of the National Federation of the Blind here in the state, and makes this resolution a binding policy for action by the National Federation of the Blind. So Cheryl's going to read it, and Cheryl's going to read it in Braille.
Okay, thank you very much. This resolution.
Oh, I'm sorry, point of order. Madam Chair, we were
Yes.
going to give her extended time
Yes.
to finish the resolution.
Yes,
Thank you.
you can read the entire.
Yes, thank you very
Yes.
much. I appreciate you extending my time for this important resolution. Resolution 2025-05 regarding dissolution of the Hillsborough Area Regional Transit HART. Whereas HART provides essential transportation services to thousands of Floridians daily, many of whom have no alternative means of travel. And whereas public transportation is a vital component of thriving, inclusive, and forward-looking communities. And whereas the Hillsborough Area Regional Transit Authority, HART, serves as a backbone for mobility, economic growth, and environmental stewardship in the Tampa Bay region. And whereas HART services are used by essential workers, including healthcare providers, hospitality and service industry employees, and students commuting to colleges, high schools, training programs, and extracurricular activities. And whereas seniors and riders with disabilities depend on fixed route and paratransit services for daily and life-enhancing activities. And whereas HART Plus provides paratransit services for blind individuals and others with disabilities. And whereas Florida Representative Michael Owen, District 60, plans to propose legislation that would dissolve the Hillsborough Area Regional Transit Authority, HART, and replace it with a Tampa-only transit authority funded solely by Tampa residents and serving only the city of Tampa. And whereas this proposal, championed by Hillsborough County Commissioner Josh Wostel, would cut transit service for more than 1 million residents in unincorporated Hillsborough County, and whereas the area served by HART Plus would be drastically reduced to include only the city of Tampa if HART is dismantled, and whereas eliminating HART and HART Plus services would leave thousands of Floridians without transportation, and whereas marginalized groups without transportation would be forced to rely more heavily on public assistance programs, thereby increasing government spending. And whereas dissolving HART and HART Plus would hurt the local economy by reducing consumer spending and increasing reliance on online delivery services, primarily from large corporate retailers. And whereas the loss of essential transportation services would reduce the earning and spending potential of hundreds of thousands of Floridians, thereby reducing tax revenues collected by municipalities, the state of Florida, and the federal government. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the National Federation of the Blind of Florida in convention assembled this 5th day of October, 2025, in the city of Altamont Springs, Florida, that this organization demand the Florida legislature reject any bill or measure aimed at dissolving the Hillsborough Area Regional Transit Authority, HART, and be it further resolved that elected officials are called upon to protect and invest in HART, ensuring its continued service to the residents and businesses of Hillsborough County, and be it further resolved that this organization call upon the legislature to engage with local stakeholders, transit advocates, and community leaders to identify strategies for strengthening the capacity of HART and other transportation entities throughout the state of Florida to meet the future mobility needs of all citizens. And be it further resolved that we urge the legislature to prioritize funding, innovation, and inclusive policies to enhance public transit rather than dismantle essential infrastructure. And be it further resolved that we demand the Florida legislature reject any proposal that would reduce or dissolve public transportation entities anywhere in the state of Florida. Thank you for your attention, and I am also a member of the Tampa Bay chapter of the National Federation of the Blind of Florida. I'm the secretary, and I wanted to thank HART, especially this ADA board. We brought a resolution a couple of months ago here, and I was here reading this resolution, and I want to thank HART for really listening to our requests and for implementing a couple of those requests, namely that we are now able to make reservations 7 days in advance. That's wonderful. And also that we are now able to have our recertification interviews by phone. This is extremely convenient, and I know that firsthand because I'm thrilled to say that I was recertified in September, so I was able to take advantage of the implementation of this request that was part of our resolution. So I was so happy to be able to do the interview sitting at my desk and taking some notes there. So I thank you so very much for really hearing what we had to say. Thanks for the privilege of speaking and reading this resolution. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. O'Brien. Okay, our next individual for public comment is Ms. Debbie Malone. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you. Just trying to get my dog settled. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak before you today. I have wanted to really commend everybody here for implementing the things that we brought up before. To me, that means an awful lot that you're really listening and that you're really hearing what we have to say, and you're taking the inclusiveness and the needs of the riders very seriously. It's exciting and happy to know that we can work together to come up with some solutions for some different things. I also wanted to say that I'm as one of the co-authors of this resolution that Cheryl just read. Transportation is really important to most of us. We really need it just to get around. I'm going to give you an example. For instance, if this does happen, we're in support of keeping HART. Let's make it very clear. We want to keep HART, keep the whole county transportation, we need it. This whole idea of dismantling it, we're in support of keeping you guys and keeping HART together. But if they do succeed, one of the things that will happen to me personally is my 83-year-old mother lives with me. And if this happens, we can't even do anything. We live in an unincorporated part of Hillsborough County as well. We would have to not even be able to go get haircuts. It's just like we'd be trapped at home, just secluded, and we really would have no place to go anywhere except paying exorbitant prices for Ubers, which sometimes that doesn't work because if you have a guide dog, we all know how that goes. I mostly wanted to keep this positive and say thank you so much, but I did have one small negative thing that happened. Just so you're aware, last time I was here, I talked about a yellow cab driver who gave me a hard time. He wanted me to go back in my house to get a blanket to put down in the vehicle, and I refused because I'm like, I'm not going to carry one more thing with me. That's just my choice. I'm not going to carry another thing. Well, that particular driver was assigned to pick me up on this past Tuesday. Oh, I didn't know that at that time until afterwards, but the driver pulled up, saw me with the dog, apparently just drove away. And this was a yellow cab driver. So basically now it's coming, and I found out later that it was the same driver. So now it's come down to retaliation. It's not just, I don't want to take the dog. Now it's like, oh, you gave me a hard time, so now I'm not going to pick you up. I just wanted to bring that one negative thing up because obviously it's getting worse. And right after he did that, then of course, yellow cab called an Uber. The first Uber took off too and didn't take me because of my dogs. It's something that's happening a lot of times. I just wanted to bring that one negative thing up because for the most part, things have been really good, and we do really appreciate you hearing us, listening to us, and know that you have our support to keep HART together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Okay, our next individual for public comment is Ms. Karen Peoples. Welcome back, Karen.
Thank you so much, Karen Peoples. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to say first, I want to give good compliments to the customer call center. Catherine is in charge of the customer call center, and they're doing a good job, but some of the calls may be overwhelming with them, or they have a lot to do. Also, there's a bus driver, Barbara Baker. She helped save the child's life. 2.5 blocks away from the child's home, child 2 years old, 3 years old, but she took it upon herself to be a person of interest to take care of that child. God had her lined up at the time that child was coming down those blocks, and she took the time to save that child's life. I want to let you all know, and I'm going to keep telling you all this until I just can't say it no more. And that's going to be a long time. But here's the deal. Do you have a real heart, or do you have a tin heart like the Wizard of Oz? Because my thing is, you cannot sit on this board and think for one moment that if you all allow whoever this is wants to put the bus into just Tampa, you know what? You're going to have more homeless people because they're going to get fired from their jobs, the ones that have to commute to get to the jobs far. Oh, like my mother, she goes way out to Phyllis Paskonsky Daycare Center. She won't be able to go. You're going to have students, high school students that y'all don't know nothing about, that's going to be dropping out of school because they can't commute back and forth to school. You're going to have the homeless people that's already homeless, can't get to the programs that's far out. And let's say thank you for ACTS program that I put a couple of people over at ACTS program that help the homeless, which is a very good program. So you're going to have a lot of problems. I have asked you all numerous times of coming to these boards, please get out here and ride the buses. It should be a mandatory situation that all bus board members that sit on this board and the director's board, y'all need to get out here and ride the buses. You need to see what's going on and the day-to-day operation of what's going on outside beyond these doors. okay? Because I need to understand, last time I was here, Chairperson, you did mention it. Marion, Commissioner, you did mention it, but I want to know who signed up as a board member to ride the buses, because I want to ride with y'all. I'm going to keep hollering. I'm going to keep saying, please, I'm begging you, come out and ride the buses. It should be mandatory that you all ride the bus. See what's going on out here. I'm going to end, the buzzer keep going off, but let me let you know something. I'm not going to stop preaching. God is going to stop what's trying to go on.
Thank you,
can't
Ms.
do this.
Peoples. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, that ends our public comment period for today. Okay, the next agenda item is the approval of minutes from the August 21st, 2025 ADA Accessibility Committee meeting. First, did everybody have the opportunity to access a copy of the minutes? Everyone have that? Okay. All right. Are there any comments or corrections?
None for me.
Okay. Okay. I neither hear nor see any. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Marion, I move adoption. Okay, I'll second then.
So Lynn moves to approve the minutes. Marion seconds. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, say nay. Okay. The vote is unanimous. The minutes are passed. Okay, the next agenda item is presentations. So first, Mr. James Secor, Director of Paratransit, will present the presentation on HART Paratransit Service. You are recognized.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Vice Chair. Good afternoon, committee members. Good afternoon to members of the public. My name is James Secor, Director of Paratransit, and today I'll provide an overview of our paratransit performance, focusing on volume, on-time performance, and how we're aligning with ADA requirements to better serve our community. Let's begin with our KPIs, starting with trip volume and on-time performance. We've seen a consistent increase in demand, reflecting greater reliance on HART Plus. Our trip count has increased by 12% from May 2025 to August of 2025. With this growing demand, we've experienced challenges with our on-time performance, but we have maintained a combined overall OTP of 87% across both HART Plus and Yellow Cab providers for the last 6 months. Meeting this demand while sustaining our service levels is a testament to our team's dedication and hard work. The annual growth of trips, as this chart shows, we've experienced significant year-over-year trip growth. For context, we've gone from approximately 16,000 trips per month in FY22 to over 24,000 trips in FY25 on average monthly. That's a 33% increase in trip volume. This growth is a strong indicator of demand, but also a clear signal we need to scale resources strategically to maintain service quality and compliance. This next slide, ADA, is a review of ADA requirements. Before reviewing our actual ride times, let's revisit the ADA framework that defines service comparability. Under 49 CFR sections 37.121, paratransit must be comparable to the fixed route service, not equivalent to taxi service. This means shared rides and slightly longer travel times are expected and permissible under law. We monitor our average ride times closely to ensure they remain within the range of comparability to fixed route trips, including walking, waiting, and transfers. Here, we compare actual HART Plus ride durations against equivalent bus trips. Example, I apologize. Yeah, this slide actually shows that on average, 40% of all of our HART Plus trips are within 15 minutes. From 16 to 30 minutes is 28.7 or 29%, and trip lengths of over 30 minutes are about 31%. This slide actually shows, this is the slide that actually shows our comparison of HART Plus ride durations against equivalent bus trips. Example 1 is from West Shore area to Wamama. The bus takes 4.5 hours versus 3.5 hours with HART Plus. Example 2 is USF area going to Wamama, and the bus duration is 4.5 hours versus HART Plus just 3.1 hours. Example 3 is a Tampa to Tampa, downtown to USF area. The fixed route system would take 63 minutes versus 43 minutes with HART Plus. These comparisons clearly demonstrate that we're providing efficient ADA compliant service, especially for longer cross-county trips. Our performance ensures that riders with disabilities enjoy a comparable level of access as fixed route users. This next slide, it highlights the HART Plus fleet. We currently have 83 cutaway vehicles with 78 dedicated to HART Plus service and 5 supporting HART Flits operations. I would like to take a moment to recognize and thank Nick and his team for keeping the wheels turning. Many of our vehicles have reached or exceeded their minimum useful life as defined by the FTA. Maintenance has a plan in place to begin replacing vehicles that have reached their useful life. What's next for HART Plus? Looking ahead, our focus is on meeting growing demand while improving service quality and accessibility. We're looking outside of the box at opportunities to add operator capacity by leveraging part-time opportunities to fill in gaps. We are diversifying our fleet by adding 36 SUVs to replace vans that have reached the end of their useful life, as well as expand our vehicle count. The ways we're doing this is most importantly is collaborating with everyone, from internal employees to riders, and also this committee. This feedback is valuable and we take it seriously. We're ensuring that all voices help guide future improvements. And that is the end of my presentation. I appreciate your time and partnership, and I welcome any questions, any comments, and any suggestions.
Okay, thank you. Does the committee have any questions? As a reminder, please say your name out loud if you'd like to be recognized.
Melanie Williams.
Okay, you're recognized.
Thank you. Thank you for the overview. If you could go back to page 4, please, James, Mr. Sakor.
Right here.
It looks like about 70% of the trips are within 15 to 30 minutes. If I combine those two, the first two columns in blue.
Yes, ma'am.
So looks like majority of the trips are quick and can get there pretty fast. So that's a new number that I was not familiar with. I thought all trips were extensive, so to speak, but that's a really good number when you look at it overall. So thank you for showing us that slice of the outlet of people that are driving, at least riding HART Plus. And then when I go over to page 5, please.
Yes, ma'am.
If you could tell me what those blue and orange
Okay.
represent.
Yes,
looks like
ma'am, those
there's
blue
people in some instances, and then there's a bus in some instances.
Yes, ma'am. So those, that's the actual bus runs or bus routes that, to take a trip from West Cypress Street to get to Lofty B Lane in Wamama, those are the buses that an individual would have to take. And so where you see that it looks like a person walking, that includes their walking time to get to the actual final destination.
Okay. So when I look at this page, and it looks like there's about 4 hours, or, 4 to 5 hours, and they were to take the bus. And then in the event, the HART Plus gets them to their location pretty fast, at least faster, let's
Yes,
say
ma'am.
that. Does that represent, if I were to go back to page 4, does that represent the other 20% of people that are taking it takes them about 4 hours?
Yes, ma'am. That's the trip lengths of 41 plus minutes.
So most, maybe I should, am I assuming that most of the people that are going to the further locations, it represents about 15 to 20% of the usage?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we have to do a lot of grouping with those individuals, so if the times align, then we group them in order to make sure that everyone comes in on the same vehicle. Just trying to maximize our resources.
Thank you. This is a really good look at the usage and how you've grouped them in, and showing us what, the percentage of people that are going and utilizing the services. So it just is something for us to look at across the board when we step aside to see where the most opportunity is. And then the cars, I saw them out front.
Yes, ma'am.
They're really nice. Of course, they're new, right? And hopefully we'll get some more, but thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Marion?
Chair recognizes Marion.
So, one of the things I know, and I don't know if this is, abnormal, but I know that for me, if I were to take a shorter trip, I might not use HART Plus to do that, does that include yellow cab trips as well, or is that just the van?
That's just HART Plus.
HART Plus,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Any other questions?
I do have another
Okay.
follow-up question.
Ms. Williams?
I do have another question, thinking about what Marion, the question that you asked. Is there a reason why you would select or choose to HART Plus versus Yellow Cab for a shorter trip, just for my own understanding? Yes, you said you would choose a Yellow Cab
Yeah,
versus
well, it
HART
depends on
Plus.
how long, like, if I'm going to be going to a store, say to pick up a medication, I'm not going to be there an hour and a half. I'm just gonna be running in, spending 15 minutes, come back out. So I might take HART Plus then, because I don't have that restriction.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Of having to wait an hour and a half.
Thank you.
This
Oh,
is Raquel.
plus ready times, those are also, a difference. If you have to be ready, an hour before you actually need to get there, whereas with the yellow cab, you might be able to call and get there in 15 minutes from the time you call, depending. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. The chair recognizes Raquel.
I wanted to thank our presenter for including this really valuable information. I know that this board has heard in multiple instances of individuals having concerns about the length of their travel. So it's really a very helpful thing to see some of the comparisons for that realistic view. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, this is Diane. I would also like to say thank you. I know your presentation came as a direct request from some committee members from the last meeting, so
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you very much for
Yes.
being responsive to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Any additional questions? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sakor.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Catherine Sanchez, Manager of Customer Service, will present the last presentation, HART Customer Reporting Process, See, Click, Fix. Ms. Sanchez, you're recognized.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members, HART leadership, and members of the public. My name is Catherine Sanchez, and I serve as the Manager of Customer Service for HART. And I appreciate this opportunity to provide a brief introduction and overview to our customer reporting process through See, Click, Fix. Too fast. So See, Click, Fix is widely used by government agencies. Just to name a few in our local area, we've got the City of Temple Terrace, we've got the City of St. Petersburg and Pinellas County. HART has been using See, Click, Fix for over a decade now. Almost a decade, since December of 2016. And the concept, the software was designed to streamline communication between government agencies and the public that we serve. And the concept behind their name is simple, is you see something, you click it, and it gets fixed. So our customers have several convenient ways to contact us. The most common one is by calling our customer service line at 813-254-4278, where one of our customer service representatives can submit a report on the customer's behalf. Customers may also email us at customerservice@gohart.org, or they can submit a report directly on our website at gohart.org. If they choose to go online, they can select customer service from the menu, which is on the top right-hand corner, and then select the comments and suggestions page. Here, See, Click, Fix allows customers to share their experience, their suggestions with HART in real time. Reports can be submitted anonymously. However, there is an option to sign up, and which we highly recommend, but if customers do sign up, then they can directly monitor the progress and the resolution of their report. All right. So now, when submitting a report, customers are asked to select a specific category. So we have from bus, commendations, flamingo, lost and found, and other. Here, they can also upload a photo if they need to. To ensure that a report is complete, we highly recommend providing as much specific information as possible. So for example, a clear description of the incident, the date and time of the incident, the location, so if it happened at a transfer center or at a bus stop, if we can get the bus stop ID. Also, if it happened on the bus, we ask for the unit number, the route number, and also the direction of travel. This is very helpful, especially for those high-frequent routes like Route 1 and 400, that we may have several buses running on the road in the same direction at the same time. If it's involving an operator, then we ask for the payroll number, and those are displayed inside the bus, and also a good description of the operator. At the end of this page, customers can then submit their name, phone number, and email. Again, providing an email is highly encouraged. This way, it allows for better tracking and also for customers to receive automatic updates. Okay. Once the report is submitted, then the customer will receive an 8-digit report number. Internally, the report is then assigned to one of our customer service leads within 1 or 2 business days. Then the report is assigned to the appropriate department. If necessary, a work order is then assigned to a supervisor for investigation. Now, for safety and ADA concerns, the lead will tag myself and management, and an additional email notification is sent to that manager for review. So safety and ADA concerns are escalated as a higher priority. Okay. Now, these do not include emergencies that are happening at the moment. For that, our customer service reps will contact our operations control center, and then our controller may at that time dispatch a row supervisor to address the situation. So think See, Click, Fix is more for matters that happen after the fact that require an investigation and a follow-up. Okay. See here. The typical response time is within 10 business days, which after that, we'll close the report, send a response, but at any time, customers can add follow-up comments, and they can request for any additional information, even if the report has been closed. Now, if the customer did not provide an email, they still can receive updates by contacting our call center. There, one of our representatives can search their report by their name or even their phone number. And as a reminder, our customer service hours are Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 1 a.m., and on the weekends, 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. I thank you so much for your time. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sanchez. Any questions?
Marion?
Okay, Marion, you're recognized.
I don't know if this is tangential or not, but if you're going to be asking for things like the operator's payroll number, the unit number, one of the things that I've often wondered and never brought up is, for those of us who are blind, is there some way that as part of the regular announcements, now I know we sometimes have issues with announcements already, but that sort of information can be provided so that those of us who are blind know what unit number and what the payroll number was? It's displayed, but it's not verbalized.
That's a wonderful information. I would take that back to, the technology and everything that has to do with that. But again, this is not required. We just ask because it does help. But if you don't have it, it's not required. But great comment.
Okay. Ms. Hunt, you're recognized.
Is it on now?
It's on.
Okay.
It's on.
So I'm just curious too about the See-Click Fix. I've never used it before. I've never seen it. Do you know, is it pretty accessible on the website, or do you have any idea?
Yes, it is. You would just go to the menu, select customer service, and the comments and suggestions page. And then right there, it will let you know, pick a category. Depending the category, it has the questions, and then you can submit it. And again, you can submit it as a guest, so you don't necessarily need to put in your information or sign up. But again, as well, we'll be more than happy to take the information, either email or calling us. There are other options too, not as useful, but bringing them in or mailing them in takes a little bit longer. But if you ever need any guidance on how to get it online, call our customer service line and we can guide you step by step.
Thank you.
So this is Diane, and I just want to make sure it's clear that Lynn was asking about, I believe you were asking about screen reader accessibility, correct?
Oh.
Yeah, so do we know that? That's okay, yeah. Do we know whether it's fully accessible to a screen reader? I don't know. Personally, I don't know.
Yeah, I can get back to our folks and to get that information for you. We haven't tried it. This is just information. What I know is to submit it in there. But if it would be for AD accessibility, I would get back to you on that.
And I would be happy to have you send it, if you have an opportunity. If someone wants to send me something like that, I can look at it and give you feedback.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Yeah, we can test it out together. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Any other questions?
Mrs. Raquel.
Okay, I was gonna say, Ms. Pancho, you have your hand up, so I want to make sure. You're recognized.
Thank you. Kevin, I love the idea of having people who use the adaptive programs actually test it. My experience as an ADA coordinator is that many times the product manufacturer will tout accessibility, but it really is not accessible. So definitely having people who are proficient in their adaptive technologies test it out would be a great measure.
Absolutely. And if I could make a comment to many of you that have contacted me directly on behalf of customers, I want to thank you. We appreciate the support and being our advocates. We do value the feedback and from our customers, so thank you.
Excellent.
Mary?
Any other question? Oh, okay.
I don't have a question. I just wanted a comment kind of for the record, and that is, I know HART is always wanting to improve, and many times we as customers have challenges with HART, and sometimes believe that they're not going to listen to us. But there's a saying that says if it's not written down, it didn't happen. And so if you have a problem, you've got to let HART know, because the only way they're going to be able to fix it is for them to know. That's why I call so often. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
I think that might be it.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms.
so much.
Sanchez. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so reports are next, and we'll begin with the chair report. So I'm going to start by saying it's been brought to my attention that committee member Guizdala will be moving to another city. Yeah. And therefore, this will be his last meeting. I'd like to thank you, Marion, for, on behalf of the committee, for your never-ending advocacy to the community regarding the ADA and also just accessibility in general, and with comments like what you just said, you know, going beyond the ADA, and that will be missed. Yours is a voice that will be missed. Personally, yeah, of course, personally, I want to say thank you for being a presentation partner with me when we presented to vehicle operators with HART. When you're not there, or when I'm not able to have someone representing the lived experience, and especially someone who's a dog guide handler, it makes a big difference. So, Ms. Hunt, I'm going to be calling on you a little more often. But Marion, you've been a good partner, and me being relatively new to Tampa, as of just a few years ago, I learned a lot from you as well, and just want to thank you for that, for all the conversations we've had, and just I'll miss you. Yes. So given that Mr. Guizdala is leaving, there is going to be a vacancy on the committee, and so HART staff will be advertising for applications for that position beginning in February 2026, and we'll have the opportunity to vote on having a new member added to the committee. But Marion, keep doing what you're doing, okay? We want to hear your voice all the way from, where is it that you're?
I'm going to be moving, we've been saying Baltimore, but
Okay.
I'm starting to say more Annapolis.
Okay.
It's kind of halfway in between, so
Wanna
it's
hear
called
your-
Pasadena.
I want to hear your voice all the way from there,
Yeah,
okay?
thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
And also, I just want to make a couple of additional comments. First of all, I just want to say that I personally, and then also representing Lighthouse for the Blind and Low Vision, agree with those of you who've come to voice your dissatisfaction, your frustration, and your rejection of the bill to dissolve HART. So I want you to know that that I think in concert with you, I agree with you. I don't even want to imagine a world where the access to HART and HART Plus services beyond the city Tampa lines didn't exist. So we've been encouraging people at Lighthouse, clients, staff, to contact their elected officials, voice their dissatisfaction, and be very clear and pointed about it. And so I hope that's someone that everyone who feels the same here has done at least once, but maybe it'll take more than once. So I just want to make sure that you all know that that's where I stand and where Lighthouse stands. And then on a positive note, I've been meaning to say this for the last couple of meetings. It's a totally different topic, but it's regarding the vehicle operators, specifically the paratransit operators. As you know, I'm a orientation and mobility specialist, so I work with adults who are blind and visually impaired on moving in their homes and in their community, and of course that means using paratransit or public transportation. And sometimes I am working with someone who's newly visually impaired, and as you can imagine, it's terrifying. And some people have lost their sight due to other medical conditions. And so they're dealing with not just vision impairment, but also recovering, in some cases, from near-death situations. And so moving on from that can be a really difficult thing to do, to say the least. And I have a particular client that I've been working with who's made great progress, baby steps. She has mentioned to me more than once how wonderful the paratransit operators have been for her. And I've seen and heard from her comments how the opportunity to take HART, while in the beginning was really scary for her, has actually been part of her learning and her progress. I mean, the first time she managed stairs on her own with her cane was on a HART vehicle with the encouragement of her driver, where previously she had been using the lift because she was afraid to manage the stairs. And then, the fact that the vehicle operators will walk with her to her front door, gives her the encouragement to do that route independently. And that is huge if you only knew where this person had come from. So I get a little bit emotional when I think about how meaningful, is that my time? When I think about how meaningful that is, that these individuals are not just people who drive the vehicles and get you from place to place, but they are helping people grow beyond where they are in the moment. And well, you can tell how it makes me feel. So I just want to thank HART and all the operators for that, and I just want you all to know as staff how meaningful that is. And I think that happens more than we realize too. So, okay.
Just
All
a
right.
point of clarification before
Yes,
we
ma'am.
move on. With respect to the vacancy on this committee, please note that the HART staff will actually advertise in the next few months for that position, with a vote expected in February at the next committee meeting.
Okay, thank you for that. I apologize. Thank you. Okay. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the basic transit infrastructure update. So Mr. Dwayne Brown, Project Manager 1, you are recognized. Welcome back. Okay.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and committee members. My name is Dwayne Brown. I am the I'm project manager with HART. I'm the Basic Transit Infrastructure Program Manager. And today I'll be going over this quarter's projects. There you go. All right. So in this quarter, we have 5 projects that are in design currently, 4 projects that are in permitting. We installed 7 new shelters, and I have 1 project that is in construction. The projects that we have currently in permitting, 22nd at Bush Boulevard. We have 2 bus stops that they're the complementary bus stops that we have there. We're going to be doing some fixes to those bus stops. Also, we have Main Street at North Boulevard. That's right across the street from Blake High School. We have a bus stop there that we're doing. The complement was actually done by, was completed by Publix as a part of their, the new Publix that they built right there at the corner. So they built us a new bus stop right across the street from it. So that one's already done. We're going to be doing a complement to it to get those bus stops up to ADA standards. Then we have Rolette Park at Waters Avenue. That one also in permitting. We're also doing a bus stop in conjunction with that right down the street off of Waters at 17th. That one is also planned with this particular project. That one was requested by a patron who used the bus stops there. So we're going to be doing that bus stop as well. And that's on this one as well. 17th Avenue at Waters is in permitting as well. Also, we have in design, we have Spruce Street at Marie Avenue. That one is right by the I think it's a Best Buy. That's right off of Dale Mabry. It's right there off of Spruce and Maria. We have the a ramp that we're doing for that we're doing for MTC, for the McDonald's Training Center. That one's in design as well. We have at 131st Avenue at 15th Street. We're going to be doing 3 bus stops at that corner. That one is getting prepared to go into permitting. They requested an advanced MOT for this, or maintenance of traffic, and so we're just going back and forth with the city trying to make sure that we get the correct design plan for that. Dale Mabry Highway at Mapledale Boulevard, we're going to be doing that bus stop. That one was a part of the impact fees and the schedule that we have for the city, for the county. It was a part of that, part of those projects that we have scheduled for that. So we're going to be doing that project here as well. That one's in design. We have the 21st Ave at 32nd Street project. That one was requested by Miss Gwen Myers, and we're going to be upgrading that bus stop. We recently gotten the city. They just recently signed the easement, and so it's in planning, right? I mean, it's getting ready to go into permitting. Well, it's in permitting now. I apologize. Currently, the shelters we have 151 shelters. That's the total amount of shelters that we've purchased, the new ones, and we've installed 104 of them. We have a couple of shelters that's getting ready to go out within the next couple of days here, and as soon as we get those out, we just continually on moving down the line with installing new shelters. That's all what I have for this quarter. Have any questions?
Any questions? Okay, all right. I think that's it. I don't see anybody online with questions, so
All right.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, and then the final report for the meeting is follow-ups to requests from the ADA Accessibility Committee members. So, Mr. Sakor, you're recognized.
Okay, so the first question or request was a typical length of time for the ride on standard bus service data by Ms. Poncho, and we provided that in one of our slides. Second request, last trip for paratransit service. The requester was committee member Byer, and the request was asked for clarification on whether the last trip for paratransit service was supposed to match the last trip of the fixed route service. She gave the example of Route 39, which had the final trip at 10:30 p.m., but the paratransit service stopped pickups at 10 p.m. The resolution, we're managing this per FTA guidelines for end-of-service considerations, and what it states is to ensure that complimentary paratransit drivers can complete their drop-offs no later than the latest fixed route drop-off, establishing latest available return trip pickup times that reflect the likely travel times for requested trips is appropriate. For example, to ensure that the last drop-off time of 10 p.m., transit agencies might limit the latest paratransit return trip pickup times to 9:30 p.m. This will provide sufficient travel time, assuming the estimated trip time is approximately 30 minutes to complete the last drop-off by 10 p.m. The next request was option for patrons to call and leave voicemail to cancel a trip. That was requested by Mr. Guizdala. Committee member Guizdala recalled previous discussions of having an option for patrons to call and leave a voicemail to cancel a trip if they were not able to get through to customer service. He noted that he had called around 4 p.m. and there were 15 people ahead of him on hold, and he would not have been able to wait that time at work. The resolution, this will require the agency to dedicate staff to constantly reviewing the voicemail. which would take customer service representatives away from the phones. That would increase hold times. Staff is looking into new software that would allow automation, booking trips, canceling trips, and et cetera. Next request, cost of the inclusion of service requested by the riders. Requester is committee member LeBou. The request is stated that her office in Hillsborough County had received several calls from riders who are unable to use the yellow cab service on the weekends, and asked for the cost of the inclusion of the service requested by the riders to be brought to the next meeting. The rationale for modifying the yellow cab hours of service was presented at the May meeting. A PowerPoint was provided to Mr. Guizdala by staff. This opportunity could be provided to Ms. LeBou as well. The presentation was attached, so hopefully she received that. The next request, the HART website was not web content accessibility. It did not meet web content accessibility guidelines, WCAG compliant. Committee member Guizdala explained that the HART website was not web content accessibility. It did not meet the web content accessibility guidelines, and those with visual impairments hear the banners that keep scrolling, which interferes with other portions of the site. He added that the only item relating to disability on the website was HART for All at the bottom of the page, which did not provide disability-related information about the ADA officer for HART or the HART policy and perspective on disability. Resolution. Since last year, HART has been working to conform with WCAG 2.1 AA standards as laid out by Web Accessibility Initiative of the World Wide Web Consortium, using industry standard tools such as Web AIMs, Wave Evaluation Tool, A11 Analyzers Accessibility Analyzer, Access PDF Accessibility Checker 2024 or PAC 2024, and TPGI's Color Contrast Analyzer. Staff has attempted to identify barriers to accessibility with our web content. Changes such as modifying navigation, color contrast, alternative text tags, ARIA content, and programmatic rendering of bus schedules have been implemented in the effort to make our site more readable and easier to navigate for people who use assistive technologies or suffer from other cognitive challenges such as dyslexia, color blindness, or attention deficiencies. The current HART website was built almost a decade ago using accessibility standards current when built, but HART budgeted a full redesign of the Go HART website over the next fiscal year, with accessibility as one of the highest priorities of the new bill. In addition, staff is in the process of better centralizing our accessibility-related content into one area of our website and attempting to address the issue addressed by Mr. Guizdala regarding hearing banners, repeating when using a screen reader and scrolling the page on HART site in an attempt to replicate the issue. We have reached out to Mr. Guizdala to identify specific details of his browsing environment and experience. Once we receive these details, we should be able to identify the bug and create a problematic solution. Next request, the ability to copy parts of the file, and that was by requester committee member Ms. Hunt. Ms. Hunt thanked staff for providing the meeting materials in an accessible form for her to read, but did request the ability to copy parts of the file, which was not possible as it was a read-only file. Resolution. Marketing staff reached out to committee member Hunt to help resolve issue. Ms. Hunt, was that issue resolved?
Yes.
Awesome. And that's all I have for the request. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for the report. Okay, so the next meeting will be on February 19th, 2026, starting at 1:30 p.m. Through 3 p.m. So that's hard to believe. That's 4 months from now, so yeah. Okay, we're now at the roundtable discussion. So each committee member will have 3 minutes to share updates. An exception will be made for committee member Gwizdala, who will read, well, never mind, I'm sorry.
No,
We
that's-
already
I
did the
think you're the-
resolution, sorry. No exceptions. 3 minutes, no. Okay. I guess that's it. Let's start with our committee members who are joining us online. So how about, I see Rosa, you've unmuted, so go ahead.
I have no comments. I just want to wish Mr. Gwizdala best on his next venture. It was a pleasure being and sitting with you on the committee. I know you'll be a great asset to wherever you go. So best of luck to you and your family. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Byer?
Thank you, and no reports.
Okay. Ms. Pancho?
You know, I always have comments. First, I want to, wish Marianne and Mary the best in their new adventure. You are going to be missed tremendously here in Tampa. I also want to thank NFB members for all of their advocacy in regards to the concerns about the dismantling of HART. It's wonderful to see, and I'm proud to be in an area where advocates are speaking up about these concerns. I was recently at an AARP meeting. One of my other hats is Age Friendly Tampa. And I just wanted to check with HART. I know that we offer an incredible service of bus training. And it's probably just me. I've kind of defined that as possibly for individuals that are students and things like that who are needing the bus training services. In this meeting with AARP, they were speaking about our older community members who had previously had independent transportation and are now unable to be independent with their transportation. Many of them may be uncomfortable with riding the bus system. Is that travel training service also available to aging community members? Do you market it to aging community members? And AARP said they may have volunteers that may be able to help HART with the aging community members bus training. So just wanted to throw that all out to you.
Okay, does any staff want to respond to Mr. Secor?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Pancho, we definitely provide that travel training. If you could either email myself or Catherine, we can, the information, we'll follow up with the AARP group and get that scheduled.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, it would, that's fabulous, thank you. And my last comment is I just want to thank Catherine Sanchez and Anthony Haywood. Catherine has always been so responsive, and I'm just now establishing some communications with Anthony. They were very responsive to concerns that were presented by a community member. So HART's just, I really appreciate their time in responding to the concerns that I raised with them. Thank you.
Okay, very good. All right, to my left, Ms. Williams.
Thank you. I do want to just echo your sentiments that you talked about earlier about the bus riders and operators and so forth. Just in the last few weeks, even last night, I was at church, and one of the young ladies talked about, her bus, and she's going to get transportation home after the bus, and I offered to give her a ride. But the entire time we were going home, she talked about how great the operators were, not knowing that I was part of HART. And I just was so excited to hear what she was saying and how much they care about people. And she talked about the young lady that also helped the two and a half year old. But the other thing is there are other things that never come to light that they do that help the community. So I wanted to pass that message along, because there's always things that we ask and may not sound as great as recognition. So I do want to call out the operators and those that support the operators as well that are behind the scene, because this is unsolicited, great recognition. And although she was thankful, she also talked about, well, no problem, I know what time they get there, I know where I'm going. And then there was others as well, and just unsolicited request, that was supported, for HART. And then, Marion, you are going to be missed. And you have big shoes to fill, and you are totally committed. And prior to being on this board, it felt like you were already on the board prior to being here. So we would dearly miss you, but I know you have more to offer other people, and they have to get a piece of you as well. So thank you so much for the work you've done. You taught me how to be humble and making sure that I think about things that I may not have considered. So thank you for opening that door for me and others as well. Thank you.
Ms. Tukalo.
I have no comments at this time.
Okay, Mr. Guizdala.
Oh. I only got 3 minutes though, right?
Yeah, you want Ms. Hunt to go first?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to take 3 minutes. But what I want to say is, I came to Tampa in 1985. I came here to go to USF, start a new chapter in my life, leave part of my old life behind. But part of what I didn't leave behind was my desire to be an advocate. I joined the National Federation of the Blind in 1984, just before I got here. And a lot has changed here with public transportation. I remember in 1985, I don't think the buses had air conditioning. I was thinking back on that. I know they had engines. They weren't drawn by horses still. I remember building Marion Transit Way. And the challenge is that Gloria Mills and I went out there, and we had HART staff out there, and we're like, okay, great. So you're going to have 4 buses pull up here. You're going to have these screens up here that tell you which bus is pulling up to which station. What are we going to do as blind people? We're going to be running up and down, checking every bus as it comes up to see. So they kind of scrapped that idea after a while. But I think they learned that, you need to be listening to what patrons have to say, especially patrons who have a different perspective. I'm honored to be on this committee and to have served in the footsteps of probably the biggest shoes that I could fill, and that's Gloria. And I think she was one of the first members of this committee, actually. I remember her organizing an advisory committee, and it was more informal. And then after she passed away, I came into, I don't know if I really took her place or not, but I feel like I had, because she was the president of the National Federation of the Blind local chapter. And I know my time is up. So all I want to say is, I filled big shoes when I filled Gloria's. And what I'd like to say is that there is a person in the audience whose shoes are a lot smaller than mine, and I think she could fill mine quite twice or 3 times, and that's Debbie Malone. So I know she's going to apply, and she will represent the National Federation of the Blind well, just like Gloria and I have. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Marion. All right, Ms. Hunt.
Hi. Thank you for everything today. I feel like I have learned so much in the hour and a half or whatever, 2 hours, whatever it's been. But I have a couple of questions. First of all, thank you, Marion, for everything. I'm going to say that. I haven't served on the board, but Marion rescued me about 26 years ago from a guy in a restaurant who said my dog could, Uncle Rodney, yes. And he and many blind people came to court with me while we sat in there, and we embarrassed Uncle Rodney, who did not even show up. So, but it's been a wonderful thing to have somebody that's being an advocate like that. So thank you. That's my first thing. Second thing, I have a question, and this is kind of a weird question, but I wanted to talk about a route. My husband and I go to church on Bruce B. Downs in New Tampa. For a year and a half before the cab service stopped on the weekend, we've been riding the cab service, and then 2 Thursdays ago, I went to make a reservation with HART because I thought, well, gosh, maybe I can go to choir rehearsal at 7 o'clock on HART, and then I won't have to get rides or try to get an Uber or whatever it is I have to do. And they said, oh, that's out of HART's whatever play thing. And so I wasn't able to make it. But my friend, this is where I'm getting, my friend who goes to church there says, but Lynn, I see a bus all the time by our church. And she looked it up, and she said she looked on HART. I don't know where she looked. And she said there was a bus route. So I'm very curious to know if somebody could find that out for me. And then if there isn't a bus route and I need to get there, I think it seemed like I heard that you can Sunshine Line links at some point. I don't know how all of that works, but I need assistance. So I'm just asking if somebody can hear my cry today and figure out maybe how to help us get back and forth to church. Because, oh, there goes my time, I'm sorry. I just want to say one more thing. How transportation is so very important, and even if it's not church, we have doctors in Carrollwood and different places where we need to get to. And please tell this man to not get rid of HART for us, because we all need it.
And he does vote him out.
Thank you, Ms. Hunt.
He got elected. He's an elected official.
Okay. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry, Ms. Clark. Go ahead. I apologize.
I just wanted to speak briefly because I'm standing in for Carmen LeBou. I'm the backup ADA coordinator. My name is Jada Clark. If you ever need to reach me for any ADA-related matters at the county, my phone number is 813-538-0259. Again, it's 813-538-0259. And I also wanted to say a big thank you to Mr. Marion in his service. One of my first cases, being the backup ADA coordinator, was trying to resolve the beep on a walking timer on 78th Street, and I think I worked very closely on that case with him. So he introduced me into getting the process started, what things that are important to know, and also, like Ms. Melanie said, to be aware and to look at for things you just don't consider. It gives you a whole new perspective and mindset. So I wanted to thank Mr. Marion for that, and good luck on your new ventures.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. Okay. All right. Do we have any old business? Okay. I don't see any old business. Any new business?
I'd like to.
Ms. Williams?
Thank you. Mr. McCarthy, I think we have a monthly schedule for riding the bus on our larger board meeting. And so I think it's coming up every time we get together. So I think we'll just take that offline.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I don't know if this goes here, but thank you. I have a question. I saw a billboard as I was near sorry, I'm from Orlando, USF the other day, saying that USF students can ride HART for free now with a U-Pass. Is that correct? Has that been in place is that something new, or has that been in place for a long time? Does anyone know? Okay, I wasn't. Okay.
I have someone who could answer more succinctly.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the board. Yes, so USF students, we've had an agreement with USF for years.
Okay.
So students have been able to ride for free, or I guess it goes through their tuition, per se.
Okay.
But the U-Pass is a new program, so it's just a little bit more streamlined.
Does that require that the students obtain a different pass, or do they use their student ID?
I'm not 100% sure. I think they're using their student ID, or that's what they used to use in the past. So I don't know. I think their ID has changed, but I think they're using their student ID.
Okay, and that's throughout the system, correct? They can
Correct.
use it anywhere. Does
Correct.
that extend in any way to paratransit?
No.
Okay, so paratransit riders, students still have to pay?
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, I guess that's everything. It's 2:55, and seeing no other business, we'll go ahead and adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.